Hello, I'm G.
And I'm Rodney.
It's the Rodney and G Show, or the G Show with Rodney, tagging along.
So we want to talk about Bok Tower Gardens.
Bok Tower. This is a place we've had on our radar for quite some time. We've actually had a couple tentative plans and didn't follow through to go down there. And we finally did it.
We finally did it, and it was great. So,
yeah, it was a good experience overall.
Yeah, it's over there in Lake Wales, Florida. So from here, it was about almost 2 hours.
Yeah, close to it. And, we stayed overnight the night before and did some other things. Hint, other video. But we rode down there. And it's kind of in a secluded little area once you get down there, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah. So when you go in, the parking is included with your entry ticket, and then you have two options to buy: just the ticket to go to the gardens, or the tickets to go to the garden and the Retiro, which is the house they have in the back. It's like an extra $10. And in our opinion, it was worth the extra $10 because we did do it.
I think so.
So as soon as you walk in, they have what really I didn't like was we just went in April and there were not many flowers out. They had a few flowers, but I love gardens. For those of you who know me, I love flowers. And I wanted to see like a ton of flowers, and there weren't. Maybe because it was, we had a big frost this year in Florida and all that, but it was just a few flowers that I saw. But when you did walk in, I loved on the wall, they had this quote that said something like, "Give to the world the best you have, and the best will come back to you." I just thought that was a great quote. So we walked around the garden. It was really nice. It was a pleasant walk. And we ended up at Bok Tower.
I think that you were disappointed because there were not more flowers. And I understand that. I do think, I was told later after we went that the deep freeze killed a lot of the tropical foliage there. Yeah. And they had to dig it up because you'll see that the grounds are very well manicured and taken care of.
Okay.
So they weren't going to just leave the dead plants around, I'm sure. That may be one of the reasons why. I don't know that the timing that we went would have mattered at all, It was just that maybe they don't always have a lot of flowers. I just think they would have had more had it not been that deep freeze.
So when we ended up going to the Bok Tower, the tower itself, it's a 205-foot singing tower. It's pretty impressive. And it is surrounded with a koi pond. And it was the tower was built by Bok himself, and the dedication in 1929 was done by President Calvin Coolidge. So that was interesting to find that out.
I thought it was a very cool place. I enjoyed going there. Even there weren't a ton of flowers. It's a very peaceful place.
Very nice.
And you could tell, it's a nice place to walk, and
it has some nice trails.
They didn't. The only time I ever heard the music coming from the tower was when it would strike the top of the hour, just like a church bell or something. Mm-hmm. But they do have a lot of special events there. We were not there on the day of a special event, but I do know that around that same time period, they had a day when they were going to have like an orchestra playing out around the tower. So you could keep an eye out for special events and things like that and plan a visit on a day they do have something like that going on.
So after walking the grounds, we ended up at El Retiro, the house that was built by Mr. Buck, not Mr. Bok.
Two different guys.
It was two different guys. So he had built his house there in the gardens, and then obviously he was bought out by Bok. But they kept the house because it's just amazing. That tour for us, to me, it was well worth it. It was so cool to see the old stuff. They left basically everything there. There were so many beautiful Spanish tiles on the wall, on the staircases. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Just love. And Mr. Buck himself, he was a woodworker. So he built so many different kinds of wooden things around the house, whether it's frames, bookshelves, and everything is just so beautiful. The detail of the woodwork that he did was amazing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I enjoyed the house. Now, this is not Biltmore, or anything like that, but it was a very nice house. It was nice to see the lifestyle in general, some of the old things inside the house, the old kitchen, just different things like that. I thought that it did add to the experience going through the house. It's worth paying an extra $10 to do that if you're going down there anyway.
Original to the Bok family furnitures.
Yes.
The old radio, babe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And, even these vases and urns and things are original. This one, it's been here 95 years. Made it.
This is beautiful. I would definitely be.
Okay.
I enjoyed that part of the tour.
And they do give you a couple of recipes that was original recipes. One of the mint julep and one of the some soup.
Yeah, we have to try those.
Soup
It was
or
supposedly
spinach soup.
some of his favorites.
Yeah, so they took us around the house. So the bottom story of the house, you have 3 different tour guides, and then the upstairs you're on your own. But they had this really cool phone system that he invented back then, and it was with the buzzard. So whenever, because all his guests had like their own servants, so you would just press the button, and then where the servants' quarter was, it had like a light up box, and it would tell you what room was calling, and then you would call and tell them whatever you need, if you needed water or whatever it is. So it was pretty cool, the phone system they had going on. And like he said about the old refrigerator, the ice box that they showed us there, and it was the view from the den area, the living area. The view was just fantastic. I would just sit there the whole time. But it was interesting to find out that they still hold events there at the house, because there's a piano in one of the living quarters, in one of the living area, and they have a musician that comes and plays the piano, and they actually have events and they eat there. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Do you remember they mentioned that above the garage they still host people? There are people who come and stay at a different part of the house, and who study the what do you call the people who study the botanist and stuff like that? They have a botanist program, and the guest botanists and things like that, they do come and stay on the property there. Because these grounds, did you mention who designed the grounds yet?
No.
It was the Olmsted family.
Olmsted Jr.
So, and Olmsted, of course, is the ones who did the Biltmore House grounds in North Carolina, which helped to explain how well put together that place was.
The views.
The thing I liked about the walking trail, not just the views, but the way the walking trail was organized, it was excellent, because you could easily see the whole grounds by just following the trails. They had they had the concrete trails, which made for easy walking. They also had a dirt path trail that basically would follow the same place as the concrete trail. You're not going to miss anything on either trail. You can go back and forth, get throughout the whole place easily.
So after we finished our walking tours and trails and everything, we ended up eating at the Blue Palmetto Cafe that they have there. I ended up having a turkey and brie and strawberry jam, I think it was, sandwich, was very good, and it came with chips.
What did I have?
You had the fish sticks.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
it was like
grouper sticks.
Grouper sticks.
I don't remember. I wanted something else, but tried that. The problem that I have, this is my problem, I hate mayonnaise. And so when we go to different places I haven't been before, I tried to look for things on the menu that feature nothing that will have any sort of mayonnaise in it. And
although he can say to put it on the side.
well, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. You don't know. You go into different places where you don't know what's prepared ahead of time and what's not. I should have gotten a salad or something, but the grouper sticks are fine. The thing is, the deep fry wasn't working. They didn't have any French fries or anything that day. So
but they did remove away his
whatever.
price. So like it was supposed to be a little bit more expensive, but because they didn't have fries, they
didn't charge me for
They
it.
took off some money. And then we had their cookie. I didn't take a picture of the cookie, but the cookie was pretty good because it was freshly baked.
Food is good. It's a nice place for a lunch. This is not going to fill you up and make you uncomfortable. This is designed to be like a lunch.
Like a light lunch, yeah.
Not
and then they
very
had an area for the children. We just walked around there, and there were some kids that were jumping around and doing things. That's
it
was
fun
nice.
Area.
And then they had an outside kitchen, and I didn't know what it was for. I thought it was like for parties or something. What they do is it's actually an outside culinary kitchen. They do cooking classes out there. And I was like, well, that is pretty cool. But, we live so far away. But anyways, it was definitely worth it. I think going to the Retiro added an extra bonus to the gardens. I wish I would have seen more flowers, but I still enjoyed our day.
Let me ask you this. Would you go back?
not for myself. I will go back if like a group of friends are gonna go who've never been. I'll go do it again, but I won't go back.
Yeah, I
to
agree
do it
with
again.
that. If I had family in town that wanted to go do something unique, a little different, we might ride down there. Now, I'm glad I went. I
Yes.
wouldn't change that decision. I
Definitely.
wouldn't say, oh, I'm not going there. But there's no point. There's so many other places to see and things to do. There's no point in me going back. But that said, it's worth a trip. I enjoyed it. You know, it's a pleasant afternoon. You don't need to spend all day there.
No, we spent about a good 3 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours, I
4
think.
hours. And then by the time we had lunch, it was about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I'll tell you what was interesting to me. Now, I'm not from Florida. Whenever we left, we could have come home in one of two ways. We could have gone back up through Orlando like always. I decided to go in the other direction because we actually wanted to wind up down in the Cocoa area anyway. Had a trip to Sam's Club. Not a sponsor. So we went through some desolate areas, man. I'm telling you, there were cattle farms, and what's the other industry we saw a bunch?
It
was mostly
we were
cattle
dirt
farms.
roads in Florida.
We wound up on one road. It was a 13-mile highway. There was not a single house on the road.
Nothing. And it's not like you're going like through Alligator Alley, Everglades. No, this is like you would see like a deadbeat farm, and then you would see some cattle, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I'm like,
For
are
miles.
we even in Florida? It was crazy.
You remember the one little town was called Kenansville, and they had looked like some
a little post
a
office,
2-story place called the Heartbreak Hotel, and a post office,
a little post office, and a little bank.
a little restaurant,
Like one door.
And I know where everybody in Kenansville eats because it's that one.
The only place. I mean, you would see like old tractors and old like farm machinery and stuff like that on the side of the road, and there was nothing and just cattle.
Yeah,
That was crazy, and that was just from a 2-hour distance from where we're at. It was crazy.
and you know,
We explored. It was one of those things when we were the only car on the road, and I kept
Yeah.
on telling him, "I'm going. Good thing it's daylight." Because this will be what you see in the movies when it's nighttime and then you break down
Yeah.
and then you get killed.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
But it was fun. It was fun. So we definitely recommend the Bok Tower Gardens in Lake Wales.
it's a good place to go to. It's worth an afternoon trip. You know, take a day and enjoy it. It's a very peaceful place.
All right. Adios.
That's all?
Yeah.
All right. Bye.